In this AMA video, I had a wonderful question submitted from somebody who said they were looking to set up in business or kind of get started as self-employed. What 3 steps would I say are essential? Great question. So I could probably do more than 3, but I will stick to what you have asked and give you 3. So the first one is it won't happen overnight. So when I set up my business in 2011, I didn't realize quite how much it takes to build a business. And I had this idea that I had some amazing stuff to offer, that I was go out, talk to people, and people were going to want my services, and then I'll end up with full books. And I kind of had this idea that it would happen quite quickly. And that is not reality in the majority of cases, especially if you are thinking about setting up from scratch, that you don't have an audience, you're not using an existing network, all those kinds of things, then it can take a long time. So my piece of advice here is to make sure that you've looked at your financials, looked at what your minimum amount is to keep a roof over your head and food on the table, and make sure that somehow that money's coming in. So for me, I managed a play centre for 2.5 years, and that just covered my basic living expenses. And what that does is it then gives you the mental freedom to be able to do the things that you want and need to do in order to grow your business. It takes off the mental load of, if I don't make this happen, then I'm losing my house or I can't eat. So we need those kind of basics sorted somehow from somewhere. In reality, it took me about 6 months to get 1 client. Now, I know that that's quite a long time, and a lot of businesses have done it quicker than that, but I just want to kind of let you know the reality, rather than thinking that you're going to hit the ground and suddenly have loads of clients, because it's just not how it works. So the first step to me is look at the financials and just make sure that those basics are covered in some way, shape or form, and then give yourself permission to build your brilliant business and not think that you're failing because it doesn't happen quickly. The next one is to focus on your strategy. So I was so excited to get my logo done and my website done and all that kind of sexy, lovely stuff. And I never really looked at strategy, and that was my biggest failing. And that's why I've written the Build It Brilliant blueprint as a book, is because that takes you through that strategy piece step by step by step. And what that does is it allows you to give yourself some kind of structure, some kind of form, some kind of clarity over what it is that you're doing, and make sure that it is sound business sense, not just, you know, a great idea on the top of your head, but you're actually building a brilliant business. So if you haven't got a copy of the book, then go grab one, because that will really help you. And there's exercises to do as you go along, so it'll take you step by step through that. And the strategy piece for me is then, it's not something that you do once and then that's it. You've done it and you never come back to it. Your business evolves, your ideas evolve, what you want to do evolves. So your strategy you should keep coming back to time and time and time again, and sort of rehoning it and refocusing and clarifying more and more and more as you go through. So my second step is focus on your strategy. Yes, the logo and the website and all the kind of leaflets and business cards and all those kinds of stuff are really sexy stuff to do, and they will take you time, but it's completely useless if you don't have a really good strategy. And my third one is test, test, test. When you first start out, there is a period within your business where you are forming that business. Don't invest a huge amount of money in something because you don't know if it's going to work. You don't know if those clients are the ones you want to work with. You don't know whether that event's going to be the successful event. So what I would say is do some small ideas and test and test and test. So another mistake that I made was that you do something and then you think that you failed because you've got low numbers or nobody was interested or one person signed up, and then you throw the whole idea out and say it's a bad idea. And it makes you feel like you're failing and you can't do it and what you're doing isn't right. And this is one of the biggest myths about building a business. That's not what it takes. An idea takes honing. It takes people take time to get to know, like, and trust you. Everything just takes consistency and time. So test, test, test. Do something, test it. Do something, test it. Allow yourself permission to go out there and have a go at whatever it is that you are doing or want to do, and see if it works, without investing a huge amount of money or going kind of ridiculously crazily big with your ideas. And I think that is a mistake that I made. My ideas were too big to start off with. I should have tested them with a small group of people and then kind of built them slowly. And I also just threw them out when they weren't as this big, wild, great success, which is a real shame, because some of those ideas were brilliant ideas. I just didn't give them enough time to develop and grow. So there you go. All of those three things fit together. So I think if you give yourself patience and not feel like it's going to happen overnight, if you give yourself time to design a really effective strategy and you give yourself permission to test things and to grow, then you're onto a really, really good start. After that, you can start choosing the technology and making sure that you've got, your name right, your business, your website, whatever it is that you want to create in order for you to go forwards. So I hope that's helped. Thank you very much for submitting your questions. I always like when those that are subscribed to my community can email me their questions, and I love that, because it means that then I can make sure that these AMA videos are answering the questions that you have. So if you are part of that community, then keep doing it, keep emailing me, letting me know. If you're not part of the community, then get signed up. And I will see you next time in the next AMA video.